Hello, good evening. Good evening. Are you in? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Hello, good evening, guys. Good evening. How are you all doing? Good evening. Good evening. Good to see you. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, yeah. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Surprise, surprise. She's here. I grabbed her just few minutes ago. Few minutes ago. Because we're going back and forth, back. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I'm fine. Tired? Okay. You're tired as well? Really tired. Yeah. Deborah went out with her friend. She came home not quite long, so yeah, I'm tired. I went for training today. I'm tired. So I was like, I have to be here. Last week, it was my husband's birthday, so I was not here. I was like, let me just leave the weekend just in case, something want to happen. We just keep it open, and it was nice. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. It was good. Yes, it's a lovely, lovely day. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Hello. Hello, thank you for joining us. Good evening. Good evening. We're just waiting few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, we start. Thank you for joining us here. We have Madam Deborah here today with us. Please let us know where you're joining us from. Is there a familiar picture? I just want to know who is with us now. Please let us know where you're joining us from. I can see we have a couple of people there. Please let us know your name. Just say hello. That way I can see your name. Yes, that way I can see your name. Thank you. Yeah, she's here with me. When I posted will I say reminder? Yes, when I posted the reminder, I wasn't thinking of her that she's going to join us. So just few minutes ago, we were just chatting. Today we're talking about provocation, and we're just chatting. And I love what she's saying. I was like, I love talking to young people. It's always good to to hear from their own view. So that's why she's here today. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Muhammad, for joining us. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Please let us know where you're joining us from. Just say hello so that we can see your name to welcome you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please, we do this, Mohammed, every Saturday at 7:30. Last week, we're not here, or I was not here. It was my husband's birthday, so I just used that week to just, yes, to just chill. Hey, Azizat, what's up, sis? Thank you so much, sis, for joining us. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was thinking that picture looks familiar, but sometimes it's so funny when you just see few numbers here, and at the end of the day you just see 50 washes with like, ow, what happened? So it's so good, so good. Yes, 2 more minutes we start. 2 more minutes we're gonna start. Happy Ramadan. Yeah, happy Ramadan. Happy Ramadan. Happy Ramadan. Yes. Yeah, I've just started. Yeah, it started yesterday. It was yesterday. Oh, I need to call my dad. Yeah. I actually gave him the Ramadan money because it's so funny. He said, "Oh, we're fasting," and I sent him. I was like, "Dad, this is the period you don't need money." He said, "This is the time I need money." Because the way it works for the Muslim, they wake up very early. I think that you guys know about it from school. And then that's when yeah. So they wake up very early, eat, and they will fasted for the during the week. Then the evening again they will eat. Anyway, hello. We can see somebody is calling on the messenger. Please, if you want to join the program, you're free to call directly. None on messenger. I will not be able to pick that call. So, if you're joining us for the first time, my name is Abisola Oshoteku. And here I have with me my daughter. What's your name, please? Yes. Yes, her name is Deborah. So here today we're talking about provocation. Provocation, that's what we're talking about. I say to you, this is just a season of slap. It is a season of slap. People are just, I don't get it. People are just slapping each other. And I was like, oh my goodness. I think there's a need for us to talk about provocation. We've done it. That.
They can't hear us.
Oh, you can hear us. Wow.
Maybe because I know. I think it's because the person who's calling me.
Okay. What about now? Can you hear me now? Oh my goodness. Please, guys, do not call on the messenger again. Please, if you want to join the program, can you hear me now? Please say yes. I'm so sorry. Say yes, please, if you can hear us, please.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Oh. Can you?
It's clear now.
It's clear now. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, that would have been so painful when you're talking and you don't know. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. So, I believe they hear that part that we've said our name, and today we're talking about provocation, and we have two case studies, and it's so similar. One is Bianca of, I say one, Bianca of Nigeria, and one is
Bianca or Beyonce?
No, it's not Beyonce. Her name is Bianca.
Oh.
The video that I showed you.
Oh, I
yeah.
don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah, no, Bianca. That's why I say Bianca, because when I first posted, I said Bianca and Will Smith. Somebody might be thinking, what is she talking about? It's supposed to be, no. It's supposed to be Will Smith and Chris Rock. But because Bianca slapped somebody, and she's a Nigerian, and Will Smith slapped somebody, and he's a Nigerian. So, I'm sorry, he's an American. He's an American. So I was thinking, okay, let me just say Bianca of Nigeria. Many Nigerians, they see that they will actually get what I'm talking about. So it's a season of slap. Honestly, jokes apart, provocation. That's what we're talking about today. And this I find this very interesting because one happened in Nigeria. It's as if they planned it. It's not even up to 2 weeks, and this one happened in America, and you'll be thinking, oh, they should be more civilized, isn't it? You'll be thinking, in Nigeria, you could slap somebody and get away with it. And in this Western world, you barely get away with it if that person wants to really, really take it up to with you. You get what I mean? So you wouldn't have expected somebody to do that. So it was so shocking to see Will Smith to do that. Thank you, Mayoku, for joining us. Thank you so much, Mayoku Isaac. Thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about provocation. That's what we're talking about today. So, provocation. We've chatted about it.
Yeah.
And let me just say thank you for joining me. You didn't plan for it. Yeah, she didn't plan for it. I only told her few minutes ago, and I said, "Are you gonna come? Don't let us just chat. Let's come and do this together." And go like, "Mom," I say, "Yes, come on, come on." And here she is. Come on, let's do it together. We are learning every day. Yes, it is, mom and daughter. Somebody actually asked of you last week. I forget to mention that. I said, "Oh, that's good." Here she is. So, we will not even need to be narrating. I believe this news is all over, both in Nigeria. People heard about Bianca and Obiona or something like that. The person who the lady actually got up to go and to go and talk to this person. Whatever she said provoked this Bianca, and she slapped her. It was a big deal. I showed you the video, so we don't need to go deep. But what we want to say, we are not here to discuss them, but we are here to reason together as a human being how this thing could happen to us. And I love the way it happens in two different continents. That to show us that we are all human beings, regardless of where we are all over the world. So would you say, why do people respond to provocation quickly or so fast? Why?
In my opinion, I believe people respond to provocation
Okay. A little bit
um,
louder, please. Can you hear her?
quite quickly because it's just the idea that you want to be on top, and it's like someone is challenging you, someone is questioning your position, your authority, and naturally, as a human being, you know your authority, you know your place. You don't want that to be questioned, so you would do anything to defend that. You know, so whether it leads to verbal abuse, physical abuse will happen. Yeah.
Yes. So what you're saying is, as a human being, we have that tendency of like,
Yeah.
what are you doing to me? And just quickly, it could be positive, it could be negative.
Yeah.
But in most cases, it always happens in a very negative way, you know, and I believe that is what happened. So I just want to say, you know, we look at the situation. Let's go to Will Smith now, because that's what you know. If I'm talking about and Chris Rock.
Can I explain the situation?
Okay, explain it.
So basically, they were at the Oscar Awards, and Chris Rock, a comedian, made a joke about Will Smith's wife, her hair as a joke. And those of you who don't know, Will Smith's wife, Jada, she has alopecia, so it's a hair condition. So it's not like she cut off her hair for a fashion statement.
Even if it's for fashion sake, you know,
Yeah,
for fashion
but
sake,
she cut it off because alopecia, your hair falls out. So yeah, so then Chris Rock made a joke about G.I. Jane. Do you know what G.I. Jane is? It's like a movie where this woman cuts her hair off because I haven't watched the movie, but she basically cuts her hair off because I'm pretty sure because of an illness. So Chris Rock said, Jada, I want to see you in G.I. Jane Part 2. So it's like mocking
you
her
guys, yeah.
hair condition, and Jada rolled her eyes in frustration. Originally, Will Smith was actually laughing at the joke.
Yeah.
He found it quite funny from the clip I was seeing, all of them. And then he noticed that Jada was fairly annoyed at it and went on stage and gave someone a dirty slap. Yeah.
So would you say, from what you said now, I like the way you narrate it, which, you know, I was thinking a lot of people have watched it, you know. So would you say our environment or people could influence our decision? Because at first, Will Smith actually laughed.
Yeah.
He laughed at the joke. He was like, and suddenly Jada rolled her eyes and he got up.
Yeah.
So would you say our environment or people, you know, people could influence our decision?
100%. People, especially people who like drama, they love to instigate situations. They love to provoke situations even more. See that situation to Will Smith, from what I'm seeing, at first he didn't see it as that deep. He didn't see it as that offensive. But because he saw his wife get irritated by it, he went to go defend it. So I'm not saying that Jada instigated that situation, but technically she did, because originally he was laughing and smiling, and then he looks over at her, and then he wants to go slap Chris Rock.
So what you're saying is, are you saying that if it happens that the situation happened in private, Will Smith will not slap Chris Rock?
If Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's hair in private, I do not think Will Smith would have reacted that way at all.
You think so?
No, I don't think he would have slapped someone.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe because it was public, maybe that he felt like it was more of an offense, more offensive. Yeah.
So honestly, you were saying something earlier that that somehow these days, what would you say? What did you say?
These days, my mom is a kind person, very nice, very calm. But sometimes when she goes to work in the night, she becomes irritable, but you work around that. Everybody's a human being. You have their thing. But then recently, you have become a bit more irritable, and I'm seeing that more. Like, there's even been incidents, even just these past 2 weeks, where I'm like, Mom, maybe we need to take a chill pill, yeah? Because usually I just see you as very, like, calm, situated person. You don't really provoke anything. You in fact, you never provoke anything. But this time you're getting provoked.
Yeah. And I reacted to it.
And you reacted verbally.
Verbally. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you had that. Because 2 incidents, and so when you said to me, was it you said, oh Mom, you're getting so what do you call it? What word do you
irritable.
Say? Irritable about these days, because somebody actually deliberately, want to use that key to scratch my car.
Well, she did.
She did, but I ran after her and I did a video and I was very angry. The normal me, probably I would just take a video and I will let her just slide. And another one, I went to go and collect Deborah, and this woman, she was, oh, don't park in front of my house, and she was screaming, and I could not just stand the scream, because I tried to protect it, because I have children in my car. I didn't want to say anything, and she kept on going, you shouldn't. I could not hold it. So you were saying that the normal me would have just ignored. So provocation, we also should actually, anybody can be provoked.
Yeah, I think it's about self-control.
Self-control. We're still going to talk about self-control. We're not going to go there now. We're still going to talk about that. So what are you going to say about Kiss Rock? I think that is a special anointing. Honestly, that is a special one. I cannot just imagine somebody, I don't know, he stood up. It was like that. Say, wow. Will Smith just beat a shit out of me. At first, I would thought it was just like one of their jokes or something, or some they just want to pranking people. I didn't, because the way he's, held his hand and just, what do you think? Do you think Kiss Rock, would you do that?
If I was in his position,
no.
I would not become, if I'm being completely honest.
So, guys, what I said to you, if you were to be Kiss Rock, would you just get the slap just like that without reacting negatively?
Because it's so easy for the for audience to be like, Will Smith was in the wrong. Yes, Chris Brown is I said Chris Brown. Chris Rock is in the right because he didn't react. Yes, but technically, doesn't he have a right to react?
He caused it.
He caused it, but he didn't cause that reaction was a bit too. Me personally, I just think that Chris Rock is a very good person for not saying anything bad back and not fighting back, because how can someone, I feel like no one's deep in it enough. Will Smith stood up, went to the stage in front of millions of viewers and thousands of people there, and dashed him a slap so hard his face turned left. And then he went back to his seat and proceeded to scream at him.
And he got an award.
And he got an award straight after. So I feel that Chris Rock, well done to him, because I don't think, it just, even, I'm speaking out of pride, realistically, that amount of embarrassment, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I would have to I would want to do something, because it's about defending your status, your reputation. Yes, people see Chris Rock as calm now, like a very controlled person, but on the other hand, some people may be like, well, he's silly, why wouldn't you slap him back? It's your job to be a comedian. There's two sides to it. There's two views to it. So in my opinion, Chris Rock, well done to you, but me, I don't think I could have had that much control.
Honestly, when Chris Rock did that, and at first I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Because we were watching it live. Honestly, I thought it was a joke until Will Smith started saying, "Don't say that about my wife. Don't." I was like, okay, this is getting real. And when I was watching the way his reaction for me, for Kiss Rock, Chris Rock, Chris Rock, his reaction for me, I asked myself, would I be able to do it? And I said, probably they are being trained because they are comedian. You know, they could train them that you're saying a joke, people could react to your jokes. So expect a hit, and something like that happened, because it's so difficult for me to believe that somebody will naturally get that slap without reacting.
Yeah.
That, and I hope and I pray that I could hold myself that much back.
We're never put in that position.
I will never be put in that position. I hope and I pray I will never be put in that position. It's a very tough one, honestly. Yeah. It is a very tough one. And that said to me, oh, thank you, Sister Bisola, for watching. Thank you so much. Yes, and that actually said to me that as a human being, that should be a lesson for us. Because something happened, that does not mean you should react the way it comes to you. And that's why we're going to talk about self-control later. And you said some things about self-control, and I hope you will remember to hopefully you will remember to share it with us. And another beautiful thing about it is they apologize to each other. Can you apologize to your offender?
I would apologize for how I did something instead of why or what I did. So Will Smith, for example, if he and his wife did take offense to it, he shouldn't have to apologize for him taking offense to it. He shouldn't have to apologize. He can now apologize for how he went about it, not what he did, you know? Like he could get offended that, oh, you made fun of my wife, so that's why I slapped you. He could apologize for doing it in front of a crowd, in front of thousands of people. He could apologize for that, but I feel like because he took offense to it, it's his opinion. Yeah. Not every culture, not every person takes everything the same way. Everybody's sensitive in their own way. So I don't think he has to apologize for what he did, just how he did it. I don't know if that.
Yeah, to be honest, I think you said it right. It depends on not the way what you did, because at some point we need to put that defense on. But something so funny though, Jada, she did not use her hand. Yeah. She used her mouth.
Well, facial
expression. Chris Rock used his mouth. I would say third party. I know his husband, which is Will Smith.
It was directed at him.
It was
directed at Jada, not.
Yes. Yeah. So, but he took that reaction. So, for me, I would say, would I apologize? I could, regardless. Maybe I did it right or I did it wrong. Especially if I did it wrong, because sometimes we overreact. Would you say Will Smith overreact? Because what do you think? We could do some things sometimes and realize that maybe it doesn't really worth me fighting or go all the way out for that person. Maybe I should have just at least excuse myself and do something better, differently. Would you say Will Smith overreacted?
Yes, in my opinion.
Why?
Because as you mentioned before, Chris Rock offended you verbally. I feel that you should reciprocate that same thing. Like, okay, fair enough, you're not gonna have it. There's no way you're gonna be civil about how someone offended you and how you're gonna go about that. But I feel like you should reciprocate it in the way it was presented to you. So Chris Rock, he said it verbally. Jada responded with facial expression, non-verbal.
Yeah.
And then, but Will Smith, someone who wasn't even directed that, went and did it physically. The way he was shouting from his seat, he could have shouted that before he slapped him.
Exactly.
Unless Chris Rock continued to make a joke.
That could go further.
Yeah. Then
so
it would
the
have
slap
more reason.
the slap would be more justifiable.
Because like it would be like, I told you to stop looking my wife.
Yeah.
You didn't. Then I'm not saying what is violence is excusable, but it can be justified. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you say is he should have used his mouth.
Yeah.
Because he actually used both. He used his mouth.
It's in the order. And the order you do.
The order that you do it is bad. Thank you. I can't see that name. Yeah, Babatunde. I can see Babatunde clearly. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about provocation, and I think, you know, there's a need. We might be using Bianca who slapped somebody and also Will Smith who slapped Chris Rock as a case study. But at the end of the day, we are all human beings. We all react to things differently. What we are just bringing about to us is just to be able to think deep before we take an action. You know, provocation could happen anytime, unexpectedly. Even some people, they could have planned what they're going to do. And plus, with Smith, I've been through a lot, cheating and all that, as in being cheated upon, and you know, a lot of
that in public.
Yes, and a lot of jokes were made around it. The people both, you know, back and forth bash them. So it's like, don't bring another thing up, you know. So for me, I would just say provocation. Everybody, I think, as a human being, we are prone to that. So how we deal with it goes a long way. So, and we're going to be talking about self-control. Denzel Washington said one thing, and that's kind of hit me. Denzel Washington, I will just quote his word. He said, this is Will Smith actually giving us what Denzel Washington said. I believe every one of us know who Denzel Washington is. He's an actor, an American actor.
Quite famous.
Very famous, and I really respect this man. I believe he's a Christian. He's even a Christian because he quotes, most of the time, quotes the Bible in whatever he's doing. And it's so interesting to see somebody like that in a Western world, you know, especially with the nature of his job. You know, he said, at your highest moments, be careful. That is when the devil comes for you. I love that. At your highest level, at your highest level. I think, oh my goodness, when he said that, I said, self-control.
Yeah.
Self-control. What do you think?
I feel like with that point, Denzel Washington is absolutely correct, because if we were still relating it back to the Will Smith situation, Will Smith, like he slapped Chris Rock. In my opinion, I think that was a loss of self-control on his end, because there were so many ways you could have gone about it before you resorted to violence. And I feel like having self-control is not just, you know, allowing someone to abuse you left, right, and center. So it is also standing up for yourself, but you have to go through it in the right way. Like when we were talking, I was saying that if someone is slapping your face and you turn the left cheek, but they keep slapping you and slapping, it's time. There's a difference between self-control and being made a fool. You don't want to be made a fool. So with self-control, it's more of you standing up for yourself and respecting yourself and respecting others and making boundaries and ensuring those boundaries are not overstepped or broken, but in a sensible way. And you find every single way to,
Yep. Balance it.
And just control yourself.
Yeah. And you said something about the devil comes to steal.
Yeah, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy at your highest level. And it's like you feeding the devil. The devil thrives off of negativity, and so does the media. Why do you think it's gone so big? Obviously, it's a bad thing, but it went so huge that everybody is talking about it. The media is feeding off of negativity, and so is the devil. You're literally feeding the devil. You're making him plump and strong and giving him diabetes with your negativity. Like, and I feel like that's what Chris Rock, Will Smith did. And when Denzel Washington said, that's when the devil comes for you. And I think that's absolutely right. Will Smith is literally at an award ceremony, would I call it? Award ceremony.
Yeah. And he's even at the top of his career now.
Exactly.
He's at the top of his career.
After he slapped Chris Rock, he went to go receive an award. That was, I don't want to say that's his highest, but that's pretty high, in my opinion. And I feel like because of that loss of self-control, yes, you received that award of this good, well done. I don't even know what award he got, but you've lost so many things as a consequence. You've lost so many people's respect. You've lost so many people's belief in you. All the people that you have inspired, you're being a role model to people vanished just like that because your lack of self-control.
Yeah, that is deep. That is deep. And I like the way you said, as a role model, sometimes we caution ourselves, not just because of us, but because of other people who are watching us. The woman I gave out to 2 days ago, and I was like, what if, maybe your friends or somebody who have never met me see me the way I was giving out, despite the fact that what the woman did to me was not justifiable. She shouldn't have even talked to me like that. But I could have been a bigger person and just ignore her. You get what I mean? And just ignore her. So when we think about ourselves, people who have hold us in high esteem, what could be end of it? I understand at the end of the day we are human, but then we should put ourselves in a place that regardless of what happened, we should be able to caution ourselves and exercise that self-control. Because self-control for some people I think is even huge for any human being. It's huge, but it's something that we should teach ourselves. We should teach ourselves,
implement it.
It is not enough to just say it. When you are in it, remind yourself to exercise that self-control. Sometimes ourselves will tell us, oh, this person will do it again, let me just give it to that person. But we should remind ourselves, what lesson are we teaching others? Even for yourself, for your own sake. Just sometimes some things just walk away.
And can I add to that?
Yeah.
You said fair enough, for all human, but I feel like now that it's getting like it is like, yes, we're all human, that means we're not perfect, but that should not be an excuse for poor behavior. Saying that, oh, we're just human, so I can go around slapping everybody.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not that justifiable. Just because you're human, the same person that has self-control, are they an alien? No. We all have to work on ourselves. Fair enough, some people are gifted natural things, like some people are naturally kind, giving, but we can also
gentle.
Yeah, we can also teach ourselves to become that.
That's right.
To become the best self you can be.
That's right.
Like, you can't compare yourself. Well, I'm in secondary school, so I'm going to compare it to secondary school. You can't compare yourself from year 7 to year 11, from basically a 10-year-old to almost an adult. You can't compare yourself. And so say you're 16 and you have still behavior, primary school behavior. Just because you're a human doesn't necessarily mean you should lack in maturity. You should lack in kindness, gentleness, self-control. I feel like with that excuse, we're human. That should make you want to be a good person. I told you that quote that stuck with me, that the thought of being a good person makes me want to try and become a good person myself. Like, you saying that, oh, we're human. Yes, we are human, so we should be kind to each other. We all know how hard this life is. We should all stop pretending. Even the rich people, yes, they're on a higher category than us, but they did have to go through stuff to get to that place. We all know how hard it is to work for stuff. We all know how it is. So why are we making it hard for each other? Why are we making it hard for each other? So it all just links back to self-control. Yes. Self-awareness and social awareness. Yes. If you lack in any of those departments, you need to reflect on yourself. Seek proper advice, proper help. There is therapy. There's literally books. I love reading. You like reading motivational books. There's so many outlets for you to go to practice being your best self. Yes. And once you're at your best self, teach other people to become their best selves. That's right. That's how this we're human thing can stop. Yes, we are imperfect naturally, but that doesn't mean we have to be a horrible person naturally. Yeah. No. I love that. I really, really love that. That doesn't mean we should be, be horrible to each other because we are human. And I really love that. Honestly, I feel like to just end it at that junction because it's true. Because you said it all, because sometimes we hide under we are human, we can make mistake, we are prone to mistake. Which we can. We can, but it's not an excuse for us to misbehave. Yeah. It's like saying, oh, well. Okay. Yeah, and basically that is what this program is all about tonight. Just to educate ourselves that though we know we could make a mistake, but you can actually train yourself. If Chris Rock can do it, we can do it. Yes. It's human being as well, as you said. Yeah. So we just want to encourage everyone out there. Self-control is the key. Provocation will always come our way. We cannot escape it. But self-control will be the one to put you through, will be the one to sustain us. It will be the one to set us straight. If you have self-control, honestly, you can practically deal with every human being. And I'm not even trying to be rude when I say this. If you lack self-control, you're lacking the finer things in life, honestly. Woof. No one, my girl. No one wants to be around with a person that has no self-control at all. I don't want to. I would don't want to be. You have no composure. It doesn't necessarily rude, but you're seen as immature. You're over dramatic. All these negative things are now labeled as you. Just because you lack self-control, that's all the other things you lack. So it's not just one thing you lack. It's not just self-control you lack. Say it, babe. No, I'm sorry. It's not just self-control you lack. You're lacking in other essential characteristics and attributes you need to get through life. If you lack self-control, so many jobs you can't do. You can't be a carer, you can't be a lawyer, you can't be these big top jobs because you lack self-control. We need to start taking accountability for our actions. That's why I would applaud Chris Rock and Will Smith for apologizing to each other, because they are taking accountability. Both of them see that they've done something wrong, and they're both taking accountability, and they're being civilized human beings. Yeah. And now apologizing to each other. There will always be the argument, but that apology could have been avoided because so and so didn't need to do this. There's always two sides to the argument, but the fact still remains that they acknowledge what they did was wrong, and they are going to take accountability, and they will now start to practice self-control. Yes.
Yes, yes. Oh, Lady T, thank you for joining us. And we soon round up now. We're rounding up now because those few words you have said, Deborah, at the end of this is actually the purpose of this video today. Self-control, self-control. And I love the way you nail it. Honestly, you pam pam pam, and that's the way it is. I always love to hear from young people. Where I come from, they will say, if somebody give it to you, please give it out. Of course, I did train you guys like that. And Deborah knows how that self-defense. You can, how to set people like straight. And I always say to you, I don't want to take that personality from you, because I believe every human being should know how to stand up for themselves. But the fact is,
Don't look silly doing it.
Don't look silly doing it. And when you're doing it, not out of being, I just want to do it, but you're doing it for a reason.
And if you always find yourself in situations that you're constantly being provoked, what would you say to that?
Yeah. I think that's a good question. Thank you. Hello. Thank you, Joshua, for joining us. Yeah, sorry, it's understandable, Lady T. I do understand. Thank you, Gwenga, for joining us. I appreciate. Go ahead, please.
What I was saying was that if you find yourself constantly in situations that you are being provoked, I feel like maybe you're not being provoked all the time. So it's on a daily someone is provoking you. Maybe sometimes.
Are you saying it's the person that actually needs to work on themselves? Is that what you're saying?
Why do you take offense to everything? And fair enough, we have different cultures, so different things may offend different people. Okay. Like I know speaking in a train in Japan is seen as rude, but in England that's normal. Yeah, different cultures that can provoke you to do silly things, but learn to work with people, learn to be patient, learn to have respectfulness, learn these good attributes and implement it in your life. Pray it in your life, manifest it in your life.
I like that.
When I really want to achieve something, like say I want to become my best self, how does my best self look like? And how do I get there? And you start doing these things. Say you want to be a really posh person, for instance.
Before you say that, there's always a reaction to your action. Yes. Oh, hello, my beautiful people. See my Debbie. Go, girl. Yeah, take yourself out of the situation. If they keep provoking you, take yourself out of the situation. Yeah, that is right.
So yeah, if you, for instance, want to become a really posh person, how in your head does a posh person look? Okay, they look nice and clean. How do you look right now? Oh, my fingers are dirty. So what do? You go wash your hands, and then you start implementing that in your life. Every single day you wash your fingers. Okay, posh people have clean clothes. You wash your clothes, you iron them. You start implementing it in your life to become who you want to be. And whether you see that or not, we do that naturally. If you want to be a problematic person, you will always find yourself in problems. If you want to be a high achieving person, you will find yourself in opportunities that will bless you and bring you success. So naturally, that's what you do. So if you always see yourself in places where you're getting provoked, do you want to get provoked? Do you want to be a person that always has problems? Obviously, sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you're a genuinely nice person and people just want to get a reaction out of you and abuse the power of you being nice. But you have to learn to have that self-control. You have to learn to just say, I take offense to that, and remove yourself from the situation. That's what I'm in secondary school, as all of you guys know by now. Year 9, I felt like I didn't have the self-control I have now. In year 9, I was quite, but now I'm just like, let me think about that. Why would they have said that? Okay, let me not react to it because I know this and this will happen. I'm not going to do it. I've started to think a way lot more before I even speak a word.
I'm enjoying this, guys.
Before I even speak a word, it's not necessarily even about fighting. It's about you just knowing your surroundings, knowing yourself, and the other person, how they will react. You know, it's all about, because I know you. If I want to go purposely break a cup, I know that will annoy you, so I won't purposely go break a cup. It's about knowing the consequences of your actions.
And I think that is what your auntie is saying there. Take yourself out of the, okay, we've read that.
You can't be your best self if the person is always putting you down. Okay. You may not be problem, but the environment you find yourself, maybe. Yeah, and that's true.
Yeah.
You have to,
and I think you mentioned,
you surround yourself around people you want to be.
Yes.
Why do you think a lot of very intelligent people, especially you even see it in my school, all the smart people, they're together. All the naughty kids, they're together. If you want to stay naughty, you be with the naughty kids. If you want to stay smart, you stay with the smart kid. So everybody helps each other.
Which group are you in?
I'm in the cool kid group. Yeah. I revise every lunchtime, guys. So
yeah. And that's so key that you surround yourself with people you want to be.
Yeah.
And I say that,
Yeah.
I always say that even bad people want to be good.
Yeah.
I always say that if you are among friends that provokes you all the time, friends that is fight, you need to take yourself out of it. Take yourself out of the situation, or your face
situation which may require you confronting the person. True. We will always end up, not always, there will be times you will end up in a situation where you do have to confront a person. But it's about the way you go about
it. That's very true. I strongly believe that. So you've done well, babes. Plus, I grab a few weeks. I can't say few weeks, few minutes. Just few minutes before I started, she was saying, oh, I said, oh yeah, the topic I'm doing today is provocation, and we'll be using Will Smith as a case study and all that. And she started chatting about it, and I was asking her some questions. If you are in that situation, actually, I asked her that they were watching it. I said, honey, if you are in that situation, what would you do? And your dad look at me, this and
I answered it itself.
He looked at, and he said, I think the second day I asked him again, I said, you still don't answer. What would you do in that situation? And he said, oh, I would just walk away. I was like, really? He said, no, I would just walk away. And, so, and it might surprise us and just walk away. It might surprise us and just walk away. So that is so important. And so that is so important. And it's thank you so much, everybody. Yes, everybody say, well done, Debbie.
Thank
you. So it's so good. I really enjoyed it. Our regular people joined us a little bit late. So we've said it, and I just want to encourage everyone, self-control. That is key. Self-control is key. We can't say because we are human, we are prone to make mistakes, we are prone to get angry, therefore we should just be all over the place. No, we shouldn't be like that. Yes, not easy to be well composed like as rock. That's true. It's not easy. And I thank God for your life. I remember, was it 2 years ago? Oh my goodness. Deborah, you give it to her, she will give it to you.
Oh.
In school, I say now, he will give it to you. He will write letters to teachers. He will write and give it to head teachers. He will write the way he feel. He will give it to the head teachers. So, but thank God, as you said, you actually talked to yourself so many times and said, I want to be that good person. And whatever it takes to be that good person, we should
that's
do
what
it.
I forgot. That's what I wanted to say. What I just want to say, one of the final things I want to say, you have to be desperate to be your best self, to be the highest person. You have to be desperate. If you're not desperate, if you're not
have to be desperate, go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Starving to strive to be that best self, and you're just filled up with all these things that you supposedly don't want to be, you will never get there in the end. I am hungry to get that grade 9 in all my subjects. So what am I doing? I'm revising. I'm trying to find different outlets. If you're hungry to be the best doctor in the world, you will study, you will go out, you will do extra things. You have to be hungry to be your best self, and you will be your best self. If you're desperate to be your best self, you will do anything and everything to get where you want to be, whether that is contentness, peace, whatever. You will do, people will do anything for their peace if you really want it. So yeah,
so you have to be desperate to be your how did you say?
Your best self.
To be your best self. You have to be desperate to be your best self. I love that, babes. I love that. Thank you very much. Easily said and done, Debbie.
Thank you.
Be by your
be your best self.
Yeah, be your best self. Yes, well done. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Is that all? Are you happy, or you want to say anything lastly? Are you happy?
Implement self-control in your daily life.
I
and
love
you will
that.
flourish. That's it.
Woo. Debbie's on fire. She's on fire. That's true. Self-control. I strongly believe self-control, self-control, self-control. And I love the way you checked me this week. You said, Mom, this is not you. You don't get angry easily. I've seen you within 2 weeks. You get very angry. You said, no,
and
Mom.
It's very shocking and surprising. I'm like,
yeah,
my mom.
He said, Mom, you don't get angry so easily. What's going on? And I love that. I love that. Somehow I always say to people, you don't need to have a huge crowd. We are all influencer. We are all role model. If you don't influence anybody, at least you are influencing your family. And when you call my attention to it, say, Mom, you are getting irritable quickly, easily these days. Say, Mom, you are getting irritable easily. I don't see you. Usually you walk away from situation.
But now you want to fight back.
He said, now, Mom, they give it to you. You are ready to give it back to them. And I love that checkup. I like the way you said, Mom, this is not you. I don't know you to be, fight back. Quick. So when you said, I was like, if I hear that from my daughter, oh, more, go back to your circle. Go back. So, guys, we just want to say thank you for joining us this evening. We really appreciate you for being with us. And please do share. We don't know who this could help. Provocation. We are all prone to it. But Deborah is saying we could be the best version. We could choose not to be provoked. We could exercise self-control. And it's so key. Thank you. Bye. And God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now. Bye.